I can't believe it's that time of the year again. I can't believe that we are sitting here to talk about Q4, the last 4 months of the year, 2025. I'm gonna be honest with you, personally, I feel like 2025 has been such a transformational year, eye-opening, revealing, transformational, like just a complete opposite from how my life has been so far. Is that a good thing? Honestly, I'll say yes. Obviously, with change, there's a lot of difficulty. There are a lot of emotions. There are a lot of, newbies getting adjusted to. There's a lot to really unpack when you're going through a transformation in your life. And I feel like 2025 is pretty much that for me, like the grand transformation into actual adulthood. I didn't see it coming, only because I didn't think adulthood could get as real as it got in 2025. Am I grateful for it? Am I happy about how my life has been for this year so far? I am extremely grateful. It's been a courageous year. It's been a year where I took even more risk than I've ever taken in my life. And if you know me personally, you know that I'm a risk taker. However, it has not gone, not even 2%, 1%. 0.00% the way I thought it would go. A lot of you can relate because that's how life works. Like you plan something, but it doesn't exactly go that way. I would even let you know that at some point during this year, I even think maybe in March or April, I got rid of my vision board. Like I didn't continue the year up until this point with a vision board. I've just been breezing through life. Now we have the last bit of 2025 because it's not yet over. And if you're on social media, you've heard of the great lock-in. I wanted to make a video about what my great lock-in looks like. I typically do this, so we're not new to this type of video. September already started. Today is September 12th. You'll probably be watching this video September 14th. It's already 2 weeks in September. It does not matter when you pick up, but closing out the year in grand style, most especially what grand style means to you is what's important, right? Before we get into that, I will first tell you what the great lock-in means because obviously not everyone knows what it means. It's basically getting really intentional about your goals for the last couple of months in the year. So you get disciplined, you eliminate distractions, you really put your foot on the ground, focus in and achieve your goals for the last 4 months of the year. It's like actually intentionally closing a year or the year with a bang. Whatever the bang means to you, you define that, you lock in, you get intentional, be disciplined, and chase that, achieve that in the highest capacity possible. But before we jump right into the video, if this is the first time I'm watching a video from me, hi girl, my name is Lucy. On this channel, I create self-development, self-improvement, self-care, lifestyle videos. I highly recommend that you stay subscribed. We always have a good time on this channel, and genuinely, I say that because we really do have a good time on this channel. I also make videos on TikTok and Instagram religiously and have been so consistent. Thank you, Jesus. In the past couple of weeks, past couple of days, I've been locking in on those platforms. I highly recommend that you follow me on there as well. I'm going to have them linked below. I'll be honest with you, the goals that I have for the last 4 months of 2025 is all about realism, being realistic. It's all about releasing, detaching, relaxing, really feeling myself. Up until this point, like I said earlier, I have not really worked with a set goal. So I have been working with life as what it brings to me. So I've been working with whatever life throws at me, making the best out of it. And to be honest, it has worked so well for me. Does not mean I don't have goals. Doesn't mean that I don't have targets to achieve. Does not mean that I don't have things that I want to tick off my list or I ticked off my list for the year 2025. I did some really amazing things for this year so far, and honestly still have things in my head and in my mind that I want to achieve and I'm working towards. I feel like what I need right now, which is one of the first tips or the first advice I'm going to give you when it comes to setting up yourself for the end of the year, sit down and think about what you truly need. Right now, I'm on the journey of feeding my soul and just getting myself and my headspace completely together. I feel it in my heart as someone who has always been on go, go, go all her life, by the way, having plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E, plan F, and all of that. The way I've been living for 2025 has just been so fulfilling, especially for my soul, and I've been doing a lot of things to really feed my soul. For the rest of the year, yes, I have small milestones and even big ones as well, short-term, long-term goals that I want to achieve. I am also working towards that, but I am preparing myself for that as well. So the first thing for me, which obviously for you as well, would be to define how you want to close out the year. What's the feeling that you want to have December 31st? or 1st of January. So if you say, for instance, you want to be genuinely happy December 31st or January 1st. Now, what are the steps in between or the trickle down? What would truly make you happy? And you have to start with the smaller things. That's why I said I'm being realistic for this last 4 months, what I can achieve, what I can start doing to actually achieve the bigger picture. So I'm not really going ham as my usual self would do. And honestly, setting this goal for myself has made me less anxious than I usually am around this time of the year, because when it hits the Mba months, like my mom will always say, right? So September, October, November, December, I always usually have this strong anxiety to achieve something grand. And that always spirals into so many emotions that I'm not able to contain at some point, right? I get into burnout and I don't want to close out the year burnt out. I don't wish that on you or anybody, right? So that should not be the goal. I just want to end the year feeling lighter, feeling freer. I already do, to be honest, because I've lived life this past couple of months like I didn't care about what the future would bring, which is how you're supposed to live life, to be honest. And I want to keep that momentum going. Although I have financial goals, I have other goals in between, but I'm not putting pressure on myself, and I don't want you to put pressure on yourself as well. Now, we're gonna do this video a little bit different because I'm ready to do one of the main things I've been doing the past couple of weeks. I've always done this, but I have been so intentional lately on these things that they've completely changed my mindset. They've completely changed how I live my life. After every work day, I'm outside. I'm always outside. And that really just resets my mind. So it's time for me to do that right now. So I'm gonna take you guys with me and we're gonna talk through other things when we're outside. That'll be a fun way to just kind of talk about other things in a much more lighter and airy environment than me sitting on my couch looking all serious. Let's make it a bit more airy and light for you guys to absorb. So let's go and continue this video somewhere else. Let's get something really, really straight. We are not talking about perfection for the last 4 months of 2025 or at all. It is more about focus, structure, and making small, consistent changes in your life. So starting off this video, one of the most important things for me, especially for this great lock-in for the last 4 months of 2025, is my daily structure. Because daily structure actually gives you the first way, the pathway to actually making a difference or a change in your life, achieving the goals that you want to achieve. One of the changes I already made in the past couple of months, well, I've been doing this for a very long time, but then I just had a different tweak to it. So normally for months or years, I would walk a lot, but at like certain times when I feel the need to. In the past couple of weeks or months, I created a plan where I walk twice a day. In the morning, I wake up really early, which is another daily structure that you need to put into consideration if you're the kind of person that has the habit of waking up late. I know I do work at 9 to 5 and naturally I have to wake up early, but I wake up at 5:45, 6 a.m., 7 some days. The first thing I do, how I start my day, is take a walk. I make sure I hit 10K every day. It's not perfect because like I said, we're not aiming for perfection, but I don't do all 10K that morning. I probably do like 4K, 5K. My second consistent habit that I've been doing, having a second round of walk like I'm doing right now after work. So before work, I do my first walk of the day. After work, I do my second walk of the day. Actually, I already completed my 10K for today because I woke up really early today and I walked a lot. I had a target location, and that's something I've been doing a lot lately. Instead of just randomly walking around the city, I look for a target location. Where do I want to go today? Lately, I've been going to places that I have not been to in Hungary or in Budapest. That gives me a lot more excitement to get to the location. We're at 14K 200 almost, so 14K 135. So my walk right now is really just a bonus walk. One thing I've seen a drastic improvement in my life is how much time I don't spend on my phone. So I have cut screen time so much. Instead, I have used that time for something a little bit more different, which I'm going to speak about later on. You don't realize how much time you spend on social media, on your phone, just whiling away. One thing is our thoughts, our emotions, our personalities, our characteristics, some of the habits that you pick up, some of the things you do on a daily, what your daily routine looks like, really influences those. How you're thinking, how you're feeling, how you're making decisions, like what you do with your life and your time is really on what you do with your day and how you're fueling your mind. So screen time for me, I have seen cut down drastically. I've seen myself going on social media, really picking up my phone when it's absolutely needed. Yes, there are times that I, go on my phone to just scroll and see what's happening on the internet and keep up with my favorite YouTubers or TikTokers or Instagrammers, or check my friends' posts or like things and just scroll, right? But I have not been on my phone for hours on hours just scrolling and whiling away time lately, and which is something I'm so proud of myself for, because you really get carried away, you get lost in that. All those nighttime scrolling that I would typically do, I look at the time, it's like 2 a.m. and what did I spend it doing? Scrolling. That has really changed so much. I'm really sitting with my thoughts on so many things, so many impressions and opinions that I had from like different situations. It could be the smallest thing as, if you like a candy or not. Because you're online watching so much about the candy, the reviews, you get influenced so much that even when you buy the candy and try the candy, you're not really stuck on your own thoughts and opinions about the candy. Actually not scrolling on social media as much as I used to, I'm gonna tell you, has completely changed my mindset. The way I think and the opinions I have about things and people, completely different. When it comes to daily structure, what has really worked for me in the past couple of weeks is using time blocking or batching to really boost productivity. And I've spoken about this app before a couple times. It is called Structured. This is how the app looks. You just put in different things that you want to do throughout the day for the next week, the week after, on a daily basis, and it sends you a reminder to do those things throughout the day. I love Structured because it makes me structured. That's the actual goal. It is so simple to use. It is so fun. They're not sponsoring this video, by the way. The colors and everything, they're just so pretty to use. I personally love it. And that's the reason why I would recommend that if you're looking for some type of structure and you don't like apps because apps can seem a bit too serious for you, try Structured. Structured will keep you structured. When it comes to goals and accountability for the rest of this year, I'm personally doing 3 things when it comes to this part, right? First, I picked 3 goals that I want to hold on to. And I'm not even thinking about grand long-term goals at this point. One of those actually is something that will prepare me for a long-term goal, but actually starting it right now is the goal. So I want you to think about something that is realistic. I'm creating weekly routines, not just daily, because I feel like I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. So I break those down into weekly routines and check-ins just to put me on track to achieve those. And then the third thing I'm doing for this particular point is tracking, reflection. I do this a lot of times. So when you create a goal or you have a routine or something that you're starting, what you really want to do is have a habit tracker, a journal, or some type of reflection session every week, every month in 2 different capacities to make sure that you're really on track. My major lock-in area for the next 4 months, when I really say I want to close this year with a bang, I'm really prioritizing my mental and my mindset audit, which I feel like is so important. It doesn't matter if you have the same goal as me when it comes to how you want to close the year. Mindset audit matters a whole lot. A major change that I have made, rewiring my mental and my mindset, which has been a priority, a strong area of focus for me in the last 2 months at least. One of the things that I have really been doing on a daily basis is reading. I have been reading so much, you guys. I used to read before. I've recommended reading to you guys a lot of times. But the way I used to read before has completely shifted. Why I'm reading now is very different from why I used to read. Why I used to read before was obviously for just knowledge and obviously my vocabulary, changing things around in terms of understanding life better and stuff. Why I'm reading right now is rewiring my thoughts, rewiring my brain, rewiring my mindset, unlearning certain habits and picking up good habits that would help me fine-tune my life. So I've been reading a lot of, self-help, self-improvement books, which I know that a lot of people dread. People don't like to talk about self-help and self-development books. They don't even want to think about it, right? But I have been reading a lot of books that have completely shifted the way that I think about things, how I communicate with people. Typically when I have these walks, like the one we're doing right now, if I wasn't speaking to you guys, what I'll be doing right now is reading my book. Because I'm currently reading this book. It is by Thomas Erickson. It is called Surrounded by Idiots. It is pretty much how to effectively communicate with people in business or in real life. Oh my God, I thought there was something behind me. It has completely changed my thoughts about myself, how I communicate. And I've been able to categorize myself amongst his model because he has a disc model, and it is so insightful, it's so impactful. Honestly, I didn't think I would even be in this position right now. One thing though that I really want to try, and I'm going to try from next week because that's on my calendar, unstructured to do, is start immersive reading. And if you don't know what immersive reading is, it's pretty much when you buy the physical book and also get the audiobook and pair it together. If you watch my videos, you know that I am an audiobook girl, I'm an Audible girl. Reading a physical book gives me that relaxation, and that's the reason why I really just want to step away from the things that I'm used to, or the habits that I have, and then own into something a little bit more different, something that will really make me calmer, grounded, just tap into softness and life, basically. Since it's getting dark a bit, let's go back inside. Oh, I needed that water. I know a big part or a big chunk of a lot of you's goal for the last bit of the year is finances and budgeting. So we're going to touch on that. Personally, I do have a goal for the last bit of the year, right? I do have a goal that I want to achieve at the end of the year when it comes to how much I want to see sitting in my account. But I'll be honest with you, as I've always been in this type of videos, I am very realistic with that amount. And I advise you to also be as realistic as possible. Obviously, when it comes to achieving that financial goal, there are a lot of strict rules and intense discipline that you need to set from today so you're able to meet that financial target. You have to be really strict and tight on budgeting. You need to do your research. There are a ton of resources on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram on how to budget according to your needs. I would 100% recommend that you look into that. The main goal for all of these tips is discipline. The things that you normally spend money on a daily or on a weekly basis, you need to cut that out because you have a goal at the end of the month. December 31st, 1st of January, you want to be able to look at your account, look back at your spending habits and be like, yeah, I actually hit the target or I did a good one. And to be honest with you, it sets you up nicely for the next year. Actually achieving the goals that you set out to achieve for the end of the year sets you up nicely for the next year. Like you smoothly transition into the next year. So finances is pretty straightforward. Honestly, there is no fluff around it. If you want to hit a certain number at the end of the year, which you already know that you have the capacity, resources to hit, you just need to lock in. Budget, save, cut out unnecessary expenses, eating out, unnecessarily drinking or buying things impulsively. Cut it out. There's no fluff or no other way to put it. That's the only way. Discipline is really what's going to help you achieve your goal. Health and wellness is typically number one on everyone's list. Well, number two after finances. So people talk about how much they want to lose weight or how they want to look and feel health-wise. You should not be setting unrealistic expectations for yourself. When it comes to your health and your wellness, it's really regarded in that world as a short period of time to have a drastic change in how you look. So you need to be really mindful on the kind of wellness, health, fitness goals that you're setting for yourself. Now, when we talk about the realistic type of fitness goals that I would 100% encourage, I am also doing myself. Fasting, intermittent fasting, cutting out processed sugar, making sure you're eating whole foods, making sure that you're taking your supplements. Be careful, make sure you have blood work done. Making sure that you're actually doing exercise. You could take walks like I just did. Oh, by the way, speaking of, let's have a quick pause and see how many steps that we have done today, considering that we're ending the day. By the way, it is 7:46 p.m. I hit 18,907 steps. Almost 20K for the day. That's like clock it. To be honest, it's not even about losing weight when you think about being healthy, because when you think about, okay, what can I do to be a much more healthier person, the weight will come off. And also health and wellness, to me, a healthy goal would be getting regular checks. Like go and get checked, go to the hospital, book that gyno appointment, book that yearly, which at this time you should have already done your yearly check where you check all of it, really all of it. By now you should have done that. And if you haven't done that, that should be your number one priority on your health and wellness checklist. Another aspect, another area to look at when it comes to really defining what your next couple of months should look like. I know people talk about this a lot. I've spoken about this a lot as well. It's typically on everyone's list, the environmental and digital detox part of things. When we talk about who you follow, the pages you follow, this is a good time to really go and revisit those things, especially things that would distract you from this great lock-in. Clean it all out, okay? Look around you and wipe things off from your phones, your laptop, your iPads, your environment, your neighbors, your friends, your relationships. Clean up, okay? There's no better way to say it, just clean up. If there is one thing I want you to take out of this video, I want you to remember when you're watching this video, if you've gotten to this point, is it is not about perfection. I already said this before, but I need to say it again because there's typically pressure around this time of the year. So you don't end the year the way you started it, or you don't end the year, not achieving anything. So the pressure is typically high at this time, but I want you to always remember this. It's not all about perfection. It's not about achieving the most in your life. It is a year, it is 4 months, it is 3 months. I want you to take a step back and relax. It is more about consistency. What you're trying to build is a lifestyle that is sustainable for you in the long term and the long run, preparing yourself for greater things to happen in your life, especially entering into a new year. You just want to enter fresh. I want you to look at it from a perspective of this is not the end all be all. You're not closing your life's chapter. You're actually stepping into a new one, and you're trying to make sure that you have the right momentum to get into that new one. Even if you're not able to meet up the goals that you have set out for yourself from the beginning of the year, or the one you set for this Q4, it is completely okay. It is fine, okay? It is more about, calling yourself back to the drawing board, calling yourself back to reset, sitting down to assess your habits, your mindsets, your choices, your characteristics, your life, okay? Which is important, and you have to do at different points in your life. So have that as a motivation to do this. Your ending the year with a bang is actually already happening right now. The fact that you're watching this video, or the fact that you've decided to actually do something with your life at any point, whether it's this great lock-in, great Tuesday, great Thursday, whatever the heck, right? The fact that you're even thinking about that is already a bang. It's already success, right? That's where your mindset should be at. To create that consistency, to create that lifestyle, all you need to do is just show up. Do it. Do it scared, do it messy, do it unmotivated, do it however you are at whatever point that you are. It doesn't matter. Again, we're not looking for perfection, and that's what you need to understand, okay? I hope this video was helpful. I hope you were able to take a thing or two from this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What are you doing for your great lock-in? What do you have down packed for the last 4 months of 2025? Thank you guys so much for supporting me and always being there every single time, every time I upload a video as well. Don't forget to follow me on my socials, TikTok and Instagram. As I said earlier, they are linked below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.
Listening in your car, at your job, you at home, I don't care where you at. Turn this up right now, because we're about to go in. Hey,